Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Monday Night Mashup. I'm Eliana Tiller.
And I'm Alexa Angeles with your weekly news update. Tragedy struck the University of South Carolina as shots were fired at the Arnold School of Public Health this Thursday. SGTV's own Corey Drennan was on the scene.
Thursday afternoon, there was a murder-suicide shooting in the School of Public Health. According to the authorities, Professor Raha Fiad was shot to death by his ex-wife Sung-hee Kwan, who after killing Fiad turned the gun on herself. USC students were encouraged to seek shelter while the officials secured the area. After about an hour, the campus was deemed safe and the roads began to clear. USC President Harris Pastides, in a Friday night statement, thanked the authorities, students, and staff and mourned the loss of Fiad.
Richland County Coroner Gary Watts confirmed that the two were divorced but were still living together until recently. The following afternoon, USC students gathered at the Horseshoe to honor the memory of Dr. Fiad. Grieving students also gathered to comfort each other in this time of loss. Fourth-year Integrated Information Technology student Tatiana Chin talked to SGTV about her emotions during the ceremony.
I felt very emotional and sad, mainly because his colleagues, just the emotions that were running through their minds, just now processing the loss of a friend. That just means so much and resonates for me. And even if you don't know someone, loss is very real.
During the vigil, USC President Harris Pastides and other faculty encouraged the student body to keep their heads up during this difficult time. The event ended with the singing of the USC alma mater. If you or somebody else you know is in need of counseling, please visit the 7th floor of the Burns Building, right across from the Horseshoe. After the break, Alexa will have more news from around campus. Stick around.
Welcome back to Monday Night Mashup. I'm Alexa Angeles with your university news. Well, despite the tragedy that has occurred this past week, Campus Moviefest is continuing as planned. The film festival is returning to USC for a 5th year with a large amount of applicants. Students have a week to film a 5-minute short film for the festival. The materials that are given include a laptop with Adobe Creative Suite and camera equipment. Campus Moviefest will hold the finale in the Russell House Ballroom this Thursday. There, the top 4 films will be chosen to compete nationally this summer in Hollywood. If students submit their films under the social justice category, they are eligible to win a $23,000 cash prize from Elfinworks. Other prizes include a $10,000 Fan Choice Award from Western Digital. Booming through the Russell House this past Wednesday as Carolina Productions held its Dueling DJs event. While attendance was small, with only 25 people, students danced to the music playing. With the 2 DJs, Colorado-based DJs DJ Digis and DJ Manos, these 2 were picked after DJing for Dance Marathon in 2013. Carolina Productions president Rachel Scola said that this event was an attempt to hold events that other than comedic and musical acts. When we come back, Eliana will have your news from around Columbia. Stay tuned.
Here's a story
of an awkward lady
who never really knew just what to say.
Then these new friends came along
to fix their problems. Hi, Teresa.
Welcome back to M&M. I'm Eliana Tiller with your local news. A criminal trial began today for Joel Robinson, who's accused of shooting a DEA agent last October. During the incident, Robinson fired a half-dozen shots at law officers entering his home for a drug raid. He is expected to claim self-defense, having believed he was the target of a home invasion. Agents were expected to find a hoard of drugs, but only found small amounts of marijuana. Robinson is charged with assaulting individuals executing a search warrant, using a firearm during a drug trafficking crime, and being in a drug manufacturing conspiracy in South Carolina and Georgia. Injured DEA agent Barry Wilson suffered broken bones in the right elbow and forearm and is expecting a recovery time of over a year. Along with a guilty verdict, federal prosecutors also want Robinson to give up his home and the firearms found in his house. As students at USC, we have come to know and love the city of Columbia, regardless of how long we have been living here. However, none of us were here in the 1800s when Sherman's March caused a historical and destructive fire. So the Columbia we see today is quite different than back in the day. The state newspaper recently released a story on buildings that survived the fire but did not make it to the 1970s. One of which is the house in which President Pastides lives today. Tuesday, February 17th will mark the 150th anniversary of the burning of Columbia. Events in commemoration include a Burn to Shine film series at the Nickelodeon and a symposium at the Columbia Museum of Art. For more information, you can visit the state newspaper's website or the Facebook event for the burning of Columbia. After the break, Morgan will have your weather report. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to Monday Night Mashup. I'm Morgan Simpson with your weekly weather report. This morning started off with overcast skies over Columbia with a little bit of showers later in the afternoon. A high of 66 made up for that, and going into tonight, we should see a low of about 48 with more overcast skies. Coming into the rest of the week, we should be seeing highs in the upper 50s and low 60s, but be prepared to grab those coats again Friday, as the high is only expected to be 46. Around the southeast region today, we saw temperatures from the mid-50s to the upper 60s. The rain should be moved out by tomorrow. Looking at the national map, the northeast is still being pounded with inch after inch of snow. Over 62.5 inches has piled up over in Boston over the past couple of days. The upstate New York area is looking at about 8 to 14 inches. The National Weather Service states that the region is expected to receive about 12 to 16 inches of snow by tomorrow. Keep in mind that our own Lady Gamecocks will be playing away at the University of Connecticut tonight, so here's hoping they're staying warm. That concludes this week's weather update. Stick around for sports with Brian Principe.
Don't panic. Put your bypass with the bag over your head. Put your bypass on away from the end.
Welcome back to Monday Night Mashup. I'm Brian Principe with your sports update. The South Carolina Lady Gamecocks kicked off their softball season this weekend with a 5-game series in Greenville, North Carolina. The Gamecocks took 4 of 5 during the weekend tournament, sweeping Longwood and Delaware State and splitting 2 games with ECU. South Carolina will play their home opener this week, Wednesday afternoon, against UCF. To the ice were the South Carolina Gamecocks headed to Pelham, Alabama to play in the SEC tournament. Carolina upset Ole Miss and Alabama en route to the championship game yesterday against the number 1 seed, Arkansas. The Razorbacks would prove to be too tough for the Gamecocks, as South Carolina would drop the finale 12-2. And finally, to Storrs, Connecticut, where the South Carolina Lady Gamecocks look to protect their number 1 seed and their perfect season against the number 2 team in the nation, the Yukon Huskies. In one of the most anticipated games in South Carolina history, the Gamecocks look to hand Yukon their second loss of the year. The last time South Carolina found themselves in the top 2 matchup was in 1978 when the Gamecocks fell to Louisiana Tech 71-58. That's all for sports. Stick around for more Monday Night Mashup after the break.
See, we at Capital City Sports didn't think enough people on campus knew about us, so we decided to create an awesome commercial to tell people that we mean business.
Well, how's that going for you?
Well...
All right, everybody, get into places right now. Nick, get off your phone. Blake, get off your phone. Stan, your hair is the wrong way, opposite direction. Flip it. Katie, why are you looking at me like that? And lights, please. Lights, lights. All right, and action.
This is Capital City.
All right, throw the ball.
Oh, what the?
All right, is the fan ready? Get that started. All right, and turn your heads right now.
I love sports. What's my line?
This is not how the commercial is supposed to go. No, that's not what I mean by a stand-up. You're right.
Y'all must not know about me!
I don't care! This looks terrible!
It's going pretty good.
So guys, does anyone have any big plans for Valentine's Day weekend?
I think I'm heading to the movies to see that new one. Are you going?
No.
No,
I
50
don't,
Shades of
I don't
Grey.
celebrate Valentine's Day.
Aw.
I'm actually, I
Yes.
got a nice gift card to Chick-fil-A. I gotta go for breakfast. I always
Wow,
miss
that-
it, but I'm not gonna miss it this
Big
this
plans.
Saturday.
Sounds like
How
fun.
romantic.
Yeah, right.
I think CP is actually showing The Notebook and The Shining.
Of course.
Classic.
Valentine's
Before
Day
Valentine's Day.
classics.
Just for those of you who just hate Valentine's Day so much that you'll see like a horror movie like The Shining.
Yeah, right. You follow up with The Notebook too. Just classic movies, back to back.
Hey,
Right.
I like The Notebook.
Oh yeah.
It's a girl's favorite. Come on.
Well, maybe.
All right, well, thanks for watching this edition of Monday Night Mashup. Please be sure to follow our coverage throughout the week on our website and follow us on Twitter at SGTV News 4. Additionally, check out our weekend previews online every Friday for your university update on what's happening in and around the area each weekend. Have a great evening, everyone.
After about an hour, the campus was deemed safe and the roads began to clear.
Event and will be held at the Carolina Fieldhouse. On Sunday, the men's